Check. There we go. Okay, cool. Anytime now, Boyd. Go ahead and sit down. I'm not in your way. All right. I'll just move this. I don't need the keyboard. I do need the mouse.
Just to make sure the mouse doesn't push the space bar.
Yeah, the mouse will not push the space bar. Ready? And transition. Hey, look at that.
Live from our spare bedroom, it's Clinically Inane.
Yeah. I suppose, like, now that we're actually live streaming this, we should, like, do like an official intro.
Live from Clinically Inane, it's our spare bedroom.
Yeah, like, hi, this is Clinically Inane. We're a nerdy podcast with a couple of blowhards who talk about things.
Live from Clinically Room, it's our spare inane.
Yeah, you're trying too hard. No, but for real, we actually probably should start doing that now that we're streaming this now.
Oh, because the intro music doesn't play.
It doesn't play. We don't have an intro. Yeah, like, you're joking. I'm not. Like,
that's the description of our life.
Yeah. I came to that realization. I was like, we actually probably should do an intro of some kind.
Wait, are you saying we take this shit seriously?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why?
Because we should.
I've been given that answer many reasons. That answer many times and I've never found a good one.
No, but for real, like, oh, hi, Matt.
Grandis?
Yeah, he's on there.
He just followed me on Instagram yesterday.
Yeah. See, Matt's on in the chat. But yeah, no, we actually probably should start.
Have you read his book yet?
I started reading it.
Oh, good.
I sat down and read for about an hour and a half the other day, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Lovely.
But
No typos? Everything spelled correctly?
Is so far.
Just mail it back to the picture. Proofread notes.
That'd be horrible. I would never do that.
Not to Matt, anyway.
No, not to Matt. We're Clinically Inane. We are a nerdy podcast with a couple of dudes who like to talk about movies and nerdy shit and stuff like that. This show will probably be recorded
live before studio audience.
Live before the internet. Usually every Saturday morning, but it'll depend mostly on what we're doing with our lives because we have lives outside of this too. And yep. And regardless of
when did you get one?
Yesterday.
Okay.
And
it's on sale at Costco.
Yeah. And despite all of that, but yeah, we record every Saturday. Let me get through this shit.
Okay.
Shut up. We probably record every Saturday morning. Podcast will come out. It has been coming out for the last 5 years. Every Sunday at noon Pacific time, I should state.
To be specific.
Yes, to be specific.
To be specific is specific time.
Yes, noon Pacific time. It will come out, and this video will be available on our Twitch channel and up on YouTube. It's twitch.tv/clinically inane. YouTube, they don't give out custom URLs anymore until you reach like a super high peak. So search Clinically Inane on YouTube or go to the post for this episode or whatever other episode that we recorded on Twitch, and you can watch us. You can watch the video on there too if you want, or you can just listen to the podcast. Either way,
nice.
We're experimenting with more camera setups. Thankfully, you can't see how janky this setup is.
Yeah, it's not the worst I've seen.
It's not the worst I've seen, but it's better than it was. It's better than it was. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. It's a description of my life. You can't see how janky it was, but it's better than it was.
Matt says we're echoing. I don't know if it's on your end or not, dude. Sorry. But yeah.
Is the gain of the mic too high?
I don't think so. But
does it sound better if I talk like this, Matt? Am I echoing now?
I don't know. It might be that our audio in the room is just not the best.
Whose fault is that?
I don't know.
I was gonna blame the Colonel.
It's a good question. But hold on a second. Let me turn off
the vibrato.
No, it's only got microphones on. Let me try and turn that one on to mute. There.
Can you hear me now? Or can you only hear me once now?
There. Does that work better? We'll see that. We'll see if that works. We'll see if that makes a difference. I'm still learning the tools to actually stream.
So yeah, Costco does sell lives.
Yeah.
Like you need to get a life. Like there's an entire section with wine tours for sale and
yeah, that's true.
Memberships. Like
that's true.
Some people build their lives around that shit.
Well, I mean, that's with my ex and I got the wine tasting package thing.
Yeah. See, you can buy a life from Costco.
Oh, cool. We fixed it. Cool. Thanks, Matt.
Hey. It's nice to have live feedback.
Mm-hmm. It is really great. But yeah. What was I saying? I don't know.
Costco live.
Yeah, I fucking forgot.
I'm talking about Costco getting a life. The intro, echoing.
Yeah. We got it. We got thrown off a little bit because so our yard maintenance has
it's built into our rent.
It's built into our rent, and
they finally came for the first time this year.
They came for the first time this year. Yeah, they stopped in late November, I want to say.
Yeah,
and so it is May 25th, and they came for the first time this year to finally do yard work. We would have done it a long time ago if it was our responsibility.
Yeah, the grass is about 3 feet high.
The grass was like 4.5 feet high at the high point. Like it was high enough that it was sprouting.
What's interesting, you look at there's different patches of different types of grass too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so they've been here. What time is it now? 10:30, 10:40.
They've been here about 2 hours.
They've been here about 2 hours,
and they're still just chopping.
Yeah. Well, no, they're done chopping. They're in cleanup now.
Well, they were still working on the bushes out front a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Out back, they've been.
Yeah.
doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been pretty impressive. Like, it was basically like wading into a jungle.
I'm already more impressed with these guys than the ones we had last year.
Yeah.
Because they're actually trimming the bushes out front.
Yeah, we
which have a wild rose that goes through them if you don't keep them trimmed.
Yeah, and it grows into our. It was growing. I like hit my face on it so many times.
Oh yeah, it was right across our entryway. Like,
it was bad. That being said, I took this morning and while they were working away, because I was like, well, guess we're not recording until they're almost done, or at least quiet enough to be done. And I watched the final episode of the first season of Doom Patrol this morning, which came out yesterday. Holy shit, it's good.
Yeah,
like it's really good.
I spent the morning making breakfast.
Yeah, you're behind on Doom Patrol though.
I am.
God, the final 2 episodes of the season were a real like. They were good for every character.
Which means I'm down to 3 series I'm up to date on.
You're almost up to date on Doom Patrol. You're not up to date on.
No, I have 3 series.
Oh, you're down from 4 to 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got Orville, Disenchantment, and Making It.
Is it Disenchantment or Disenchanted?
Or Disenchanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the final episode aired yesterday. I had watched it earlier this week, thinking the final episode had aired last week, and I was like, "Cool, I'll watch the final episode." And then I played a trailer, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
That's the thing is like, so there's one episode I just got into, and I wasn't feeling the energy for the day I was in, and I've fallen off since then.
Was it the episode with Niles going?
The funeral.
The funeral. Right.
It's a cliff episode.
Yeah, the cliff.
Yeah.
I like that episode a lot.
Maybe I'll get into it. Just the energy that I was getting at the beginning of it, I wasn't feeling. So
that's fair.
Switched over and
yeah. There's one episode. I don't know if it might be the same episode. There's an episode where with Niles and a flashback to the.
That's the episode before.
The episode before. That one was like that one almost lost me.
Kind of the why Niles is Niles.
Yeah, that one almost lost me.
Yeah,
but you know,
I got through that one just fine.
Yeah,
and I think it was literally just my energy. Maybe the energy of that show just wasn't matching quite right there, and
yeah,
I need to jump back into it at some point.
You do. You really do. It's like it finished. The season finishes strong.
Yeah,
like. With like strong appearances from Mr. Nobody, from Alan Tudyk, who's always amazing in everything he does.
That's the thing. That a lot of shows I get phases where I'm better at TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm just saying it's really good.
Okay,
it's really good. You don't have to justify why you're not watching it. I'm saying it's really really good. I'm glad I signed up for the DC DCU thing. Although apparently that might be going away.
What?
Yeah. So Warner Brothers, it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
So since Disney is launching their Disney Plus thing,
yes,
which is taking and now they're going to own Hulu, so they get to do whatever with that too. But because they're launching Disney Plus and they're doing all of that shit, Warner Brothers, in an attempt to always try and keep up with them, like for some fucking reason, instead of just doing their own thing, they always got to keep up.
Yeah.
There's talk of Warner Brothers killing the DC Universe app and making it like a WB Plus type thing.
But is that gonna kill off the comics that are in the DC stuff? And
that's a good question.
Like, I mean,
because technically, even with Disney Plus, Disney still has Marvel Unlimited for all the comic stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, but there's discussion of like they launched this service and it's doing well by all accounts.
Yeah.
Like they're Doom Patrol Titans is going into a season 2. It got middling reviews, which is fair. It's a middling show. Doom Patrol is fantastic from start to finish.
I mean, if they moved all the content from this to a WB app and charged about the same, I'm fine with it. But
yeah, it's just
it comes on.
It smells of all of Warner Brothers with what they've been trying to do with the DCU, like the DCEU, like the
film,
the films,
blockbuster stuff.
Yeah, where they're just trying so hard to keep up with Marvel that they're just shitting the bed on it.
And really, they do best if they just do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's It's a good question of like, is that
Mm-hmm.
something that they want to be doing?
Because I mean, they got a bit of brand recognition with the DCU.
Yeah, yeah. And I know everyone I know who has it, with the exception of a couple bugs that the program has. That
I've had a couple.
You've had a couple.
I had a couple weeks where the app wasn't launching the Apple TV.
Yeah. That may have also knocked off your Doom Patrol viewing.
Yeah, that did actually. Series don't always. Sometimes they'll skip episodes in series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple bugs in it.
So I'm just gonna have it. If I don't just go to the next, I just go back to the series and launch the next one.
Yeah.
It's
but
not a big deal, but yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, it always feels like they're trying to play catch up, even though they've beaten Marvel to the punch on a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they put out the first female-led superhero movie.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they still feel like they need to play catch up to Marvel. Like they beat them to a exclusive streaming service that's actually good.
To a villain-led movie.
To a villain-led movie, yeah. To a bunch of stuff. They're actually like. It's the big problem is that they see Marvel's grand overarching scheme that they've been building for the last 11 years that ended with Endgame recently, and they see that and they just go, oh shit, we need to do what they're doing, we need to catch up with that, we need to do that, and that's not what they need to do. They need to just
they
do their own thing.
Innovation comes from doing something different, not doing the same.
Yeah.
And if you're in second or third, you have to innovate.
Well,
and the greatest risk of first is they stop innovating.
Well, and even being in second or third is not necessarily
a
bad place to be.
Yeah.
It's because it honestly, it's because it's all fucking capitalistic gains type shit. That there's the guy. If you can hear him outside. Told you. This is that's the leaf blower blowing up all the clippings, because there's a fucking lot.
Actually, one thing I like about this company over there, the one they're actually using art bins for like the waste.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Well, they should. It's there.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
The other one hauled it all away.
Yeah.
Which seemed weird.
Yeah. But it's gonna suck to carry that, to drag that thing out on Wednesday. It's gonna weigh like 200 pounds.
See, when I was living with Grandma, she had two that size.
Yeah.
And they would periodically throughout the year get full.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
but anyway,
she had a lot more trees and bushes, big bushes to deal with. And
yeah. Anyway, DC always just feels like they're playing catch up.
Which really they should. They feel like they're trying to play catch up.
They're trying to play catch up when really they should just do their own thing.
Yeah.
And that would work way better.
Yeah.
If you do your own thing, you're not. I don't. It doesn't see it. It doesn't smack of desperation.
Because like DC does put up better animated films than Marvel. For the most part.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, Marvel, like, this is gonna sound weird in the animated, but Marvels are a little bit too bubblegummy for me most
of
the time.
DC gets into some dark shit in some of them.
Well, I don't even say dark. Like, it's just that I wouldn't even. They're just well-made animated films for the most part.
Oh, and there is a variety of animation styles too.
Yes, whereas most of the Marvel stuff feels like it's made for 7-year-olds.
Yeah, a lot of the recent stuff, and
just over the years, even if it's not, it still feels that way.
Yeah. Like Marvel's on things like there's the Dark Avengers. There's the Batman.
You're thinking Justice League Dark.
Or Justice League Dark.
Yes.
Like
Gotham by Gaslight.
Gotham by Gaslight. The Batman Ninja one.
Yeah. Well, I guess Batman Ninja's not very good, but it's really cool looking.
Actually, that's the thing is like it's a decent storyline.
Yeah.
But the animation style is definitely an appropriate choice for what it is.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's kind of part of what's cool about it, is you're willing to go with a different animation style for a different type of story.
Totally. Yeah, and it works.
Yeah.
And I think that's far more interesting than just doing the same thing over and over again. And in there, I'm not even trying to justify DC being like they're beating them to the punch on these things. I realize I'm saying that stuff, but I'm just saying, like, when DC does what they want to do, as opposed to feeling like they need to play catch up to what Marvel is doing, they put out a lot better product.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be said of pretty much anything. When you do the thing that you want to do versus trying to compare yourself to another person or another company or another entity of some kind. If you're just doing the thing that you want to do, then you're going to be doing better.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
sometimes understanding what your pace is and what your timing is. And
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's one of the big qualities of actually Apple is most technology is not the first one to roll it out,
Yeah.
but they're often the first one to really get it right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Apple has a tendency to, and that's not the case anymore. By the way, not since Tim Cook took over.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
Yeah.
Apple always did the we're innovators card, but they'd taken something somebody else had done and just improved upon it. And not even perfected,
but
improved upon it, solidified it as a viable thing. Now they're trying too hard to be the innovators who are trying to break through and be like, look, we're doing this before anyone else.
Yeah.
And you and I have both seen it and gone, well, that doesn't work.
The 2015 MacBook Pro is still one of the highest rated laptops out there.
Yeah.
Even currently.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a well-made machine.
Yeah. It was the last one before they went to the weird little sensor bar thing.
Yeah. And that thing's just a piece of shit.
Yeah. And they also went to a new keyboard style that's been having problems.
Yeah. And I don't, for a long time, I was at the altar of Apple kind of thing.
Yeah.
And basically trying to justify
I was selling Apple
the
for
cost.
a long time.
So yeah, the cost differences and all that stuff. And it's really just, it doesn't, since honestly, I can honestly say since Tim Cook took over, they reaped a few more years of stuff that was in the works from before that. And then it's just consistently kind of just been.
They're they're giving up their quality for style.
Well, as soon as the iPhone took off and the iPad took off and they launched and became the thing.
Now what?
Oh, no, I'm looking to see a comment. Hold on.
A comment.
Android is at the same level of expense for the big names, though. Yeah,
it
it's
is.
true. It is. Samsung, Google, it's all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
I think Android has less of that reputation, though, because they've hidden their prices better.
Yeah, well, also Android is pretty open source because you can, for big names, absolutely, Samsung, Google, whoever. But Android also, you have the low-end ones who are basically like, I need a phone.
Here's $100.
Here's $100.
Well, that's the trade-off, though, is like Apple for a while was promoting, hey, just buy an iPhone by itself. $1,000.
Yeah.
The Android companies have been far more embedded with the cell phone companies.
Yes.
So you not really tend to be buying a Google or a Samsung by itself. So they're advertising it at $85 a month.
Yeah.
And it gives this illusion of being cheaper when you're paying the same amount.
Absolutely. Well, I think also too that I feel like everyone's trying to out innovate. Like the what is it, the Galaxy Fold or whatever, the Samsung Fold is fucking stupid. They've already broken them. Like it lasted like a day.
They've suspended like release date indefinitely.
Yeah.
Cell phone companies would start taking pre-orders.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But you always see those people trying for those levels of innovation.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like you see all these levels of innovation. The idea is awesome. The execution of the Fold failed. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think that's part of where like some of the like tech conferences get really interesting because you get these companies pushing like one innovation.
Yeah. And it's just interesting to see how that innovation over the years just doesn't. Some of it works, and some of it they really should have abandoned before it even made it to market.
Some of it is just ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Newton.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, what was it? Oh, I got reminded. We went to I got the memories thing when we went to the Star Trek exhibit.
Yeah.
At now Mopop EMP. When we accidentally went opening day and we walked in and there were like Denise Crosby and Jonathan Frakes were there and we're like, oh, it's opening day.
Oops. We're just excited about this.
We were just like, hey, we're bored. You want to go see it? We went and saw the Star Trek exhibit there, but they had the original
tricorder?
Yeah. Or it was one of their original communicators.
Communicator, tricorder, or phaser. Which one is it?
It was the communicator.
Where like, boop.
Yeah, the boop thing. And I made a joke about it at the time. I was like, "Hey, isn't this the Motorola from 2005?"
Yeah.
But like, it's a half joke because I 100% had a phone that looked like that.
Well, yeah, and sci-fi is often guided science,
Yeah,
but also like I know for a while, like ThinkGeek and stuff were selling Bluetooth communicators that hook to your phone.
yeah. Well, it's just interesting because my dad at one point had the push to talk, the push to talk phone, and it looked like a Star Trek communicator. It's just everyone forgot about it because it's like, oh, this is a new cell phone, but it's ahead of its time kind of thing. But that being said, I don't feel like any of the big companies have what's that?
He's distracted by
Nextel. Yes, that's what it was. The Nextel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think Nextel got bought out by Sprint. Or was Division of.
Division of or something like that. But they anyway, I don't feel like any of the big companies in terms of phone design have really innovated that much over the last couple of years. They keep on like shoving a new camera into it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like...
Well, now we've got multiple cameras in it.
Yeah, now we have 4 cameras in there.
There's one company I got to add this morning that's advertising that their borderless phone has no little notch. And
it has no bezel or something like
that.
Well,
they've all been bezel free for a while now.
Yeah.
This one's advertising no notch.
Yeah.
For the camera.
Whoop-de-fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I care that it works and that it does what I want it to do. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I can honestly say that my phone for the last, you and I both have Pixel 2s, and it's ran way better for me than my previous 2 iPhones.
At this point, I don't know if I'll get really excited about another phone upgrade until I have little 3D.
Until it comes off of it.
Yeah.
Until then, it's just okay. Mine's getting old. Time for a new one.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like, and I feel like Apple's trying to sell all these innovations, and of course, there's always the Apple fanboys who are going to go, and then there's the Android dorks. It's both.
Yeah,
it's the guys who have to hack every little piece of their phone, and then there's the Apple fanboys who always have to have the newest thing.
Yep.
Like the day it comes out, pre-ordered it. Don't you still have $500 on your old phone? Yeah, but I need the new one.
Well, that's the thing is I worked with those people also, and we had one boss who he did that, and his trade-in value basically paid off the old phone.
Yeah.
So he just kept paying this monthly bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't care enough.
Of course, he was also someone, I think one of my bosses just bought the new one every time it came out.
Yeah.
But he was in a different category.
Yes. He is in a different level.
Yes. He was a few boss levels above me. So.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So before we get into, get to talking about Austin Powers.
I was going to spin that differently.
No, we need to.
No, you ruined my punchline.
Yeah, well,
we were going to go. We saw a classic movie this week.
Yeah, I want to talk about Booksmart before that.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw Booksmart, you didn't.
Yeah.
And I went and saw Booksmart. Yeah, it's which I remember seeing the trailer for it, which is funny because both it and the new movie about about the 12-year-old boys who are trying to go to a party and need to figure out how to kiss.
Stranger Things?
No, not Stranger Things. It's the guys who it's from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, but both of those trailers came out within a couple days of each other, and they both used the same song, the DJ Shadow and Run the Jewels song. Nobody Speak. Yeah. And they both of the trailers use it, which I thought was hilarious because they're very similar in tone. But
there's always something that entertains me about movies about white kids using very violent, angry hip hop.
Well, I wouldn't say that because
movies about suburbanite kids.
There you go.
Using angry hip hop.
Yeah. And that's kind of the concept of Booksmart is that there are these 2 girls who did everything that they were supposed to do.
Yep.
And
got in the same college as everyone who didn't.
Got into and all the failures got into the failures in their eyes got into
the kids who had a lot
as
more
good
fun.
Of colleges. Yeah. Although there's one moment, and it's in a trailer, that I realized that this movie was written by somebody who has been out of school for a while.
Yeah.
Which one of the girls says, "I'm awesome at hand jobs, but I also got a 15/20 on my SAT." the modern day SAT, that's a really bad score.
I mean, that's about what I get.
Because modern day SATs out of 2,400.
See, that's about what I got on my SAT.
Yeah, but you took the old SAT.
Out of 1,600.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to
That's about
be.
what my brother got on his SAT.
Yeah, out of 2,400. See, I was in the first group that took it with the new one.
Yeah.
And I did okay. I didn't do great. It didn't help that they didn't know what they were doing when they were administering it, and I was there for 4 hours longer than I should have been. But that was the one moment where I was like, this is written by an older person.
Like my brother and I actually, when I think about it, I did a lot better on my SATs. He technically got into a better school than me.
It's true.
I technically left with a lot less debt.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway.
Because we figured out, what was it? A year of his college was 4 years of mine.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it happens when you go to a big state school.
Yep.
Anyway, Booksmart. It's about these two girls who were, like, they were the kids who were supposed, don't do that. The kids who were supposed to be being, like, the good kids, and they were on top of it, you know, part of student government, doing all that stuff. And also, one of the girls is coming to grips with, like, she's been out as gay for 2 years, but has never actually, like, kissed a girl. And basically that's kind of those two big storylines, like, and they both like these people and stuff. It's very high school.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's so well told. And there is, I mean, it's a bit hyperbolic, as all high school stories are, but it's told in a way that's like, you really get a sense of a broad range of the characters in it.
Nice.
And who those characters are. They're not one-dimensional characters. Even the minor characters are not one-dimensional.
Cool.
But it also goes to show you how, like, it has a lot of lessons about what you expect to happen versus reality, and what happens when you build things up in your head and all sorts of stuff like that. It's very, very, very well done. And it's just a really great coming of age tale.
Yeah.
And it's fucking funny as hell. It borders on that level of almost letting them go too far, and then it reins it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, in an age where we got a lot of
you didn't make me make those comments bigger, or just ignore them.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I lean.
Time.
I need to zoom in. But
can you make it so you see just the comments and not our little video at the top?
No,
okay.
This is the dashboard. But it's.
I guess that comment wasn't important. Sorry.
No. It's not that it wasn't important. We're talking about stuff.
Fine.
But it's just a really well done thing where they show a wide breadth of characters and characterizations from both students and teachers, while also telling a story that's a really well thought through story, coming of age tale. Mm-hmm. That's obviously a little bit on the hyperbolic level, because otherwise it's not a good movie, you know. But those moments in it where it is very, very real are really great.
Are really real?
Yeah, they're really great. Like, they're truly great. And in an age where we have comedies where they kind of let the actors just keep going, and then they leave the scenes and let them keep improvising and going, to have a movie where it feels like they almost hit that point and then cut it back and rein it in. It's like, we're almost all right, we're done, kind of thing.
Interesting.
And knowing when to stop
is important as knowing when to start.
Exactly. And it works really well. It's really fucking funny.
Nice.
It is really funny. It's really heartfelt. Olivia Wilde did a great job directing it. If I remember correctly, it's her directorial debut. So
interesting.
I could be wrong on that, but and Jason Sudeikis is in it, as of course, because they always put each other in each other's things, because they're married. Surprise. But they also are a really great creative duo, and his character, he's the principal, and he's fucking funny as hell. Jessica Williams is great in it too, just across the board. The teachers are really, really funny. But yeah, It is very much. I've heard some people call it kind of like super bad for girls, and I'd say that's if you have to give a broad, very very broad elevator pitch.
It's a Super-esque style movie that it's similar to Super Bad, but the main character's female.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you have to give a broad definition of it, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
So if you like Super Bad, you probably like this.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Super bad.
Is this movie worth going to?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right.
Fuck Aladdin. Go see this.
Keep ruining my punchline.
What's that?
Oh, I was going to talk, but we saw a great 90s classic movie this week.
Yeah.
And also Aladdin came out.
Also, Aladdin came out this week. Yeah. Aladdin apparently is not good. Go see Booksmart instead. That's my review. But
it's Ali, fabulous. He should have stayed in the 90s.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. No, it's Booksmart is really, really great. Really genuinely great. And the two girls in it are hysterical. Will Forte and Lisa Kudrow, and their small scenes are really fucking funny too. One of the girl who's gay, they play her parents.
Yeah.
And
I saw a trailer briefly.
Apparently they're super religious and trying to be as supportive as they can of their girl.
That's actually wonderful.
And it's really, really funny. And Will Forte is hysterical.
There was a scene in the trailers where because the straight one likes to kind of make her parents think that
they're together. Yeah.
And she says something about what they're going to do. And the mother's just like,
I don't need to know
all the details.
They say, I'm going to do a Korean face. We're probably just going to do a Korean face mask. And she goes, I don't need to know all the words. It's pretty great.
Which is fantastic, though. It's the supportive parents, but in an awkward situation.
Absolutely. Well, and there's a scene at the end of the movie with them that's just, it's so fucking funny. It's almost unbearably funny. It does do a lot of that awkward humor, but not overly so.
It's not Napoleon Dynamite levels.
No, Napoleon Dynamite's just not funny.
It relies on just being you're awkward laughing through it.
Yeah. See, this is awkward humor with punchlines.
That's the appropriate way to do it. Not just, I'm laughing because this is really awkward.
I'm laughing because I don't like this. Yeah. Napoleon Dynamite, I just didn't like it because it's not funny.
I've never actually watched the entire movie. I've never been able to sit through it.
It was super awkward when I met the cast of Napoleon Dynamite and the cast and the guy who wrote it, who's very much a white bread Mormon dude.
Yeah.
He blonde hair, blue eyes, big fucking white teeth, and super white teeth, and very much a Mormon dude. John Grease, though, who played Uncle Rico in it, who's also in a number of other things, but one of my favorite movies of all time, Real Genius. He plays Laszlo. John Grease was fucking fantastic. He was really great as a person, just in general. He's really cool.
To be fair, a friend of mine just offered her kid $10 if he learned the Napoleon Dynamite, or $10 and a trip to Target if he learned the Napoleon Dynamite dance.
Yeah, but you could also learn that dance from World of Warcraft or Fortnite.
Yeah,
so it's not that big of a deal.
An 8-year-old kid doing it's the entertaining part.
Yeah, meh. Napoleon Dynamite's just not funny. But anyway, we also.
In funny movies,
since it hit Netflix, and we'd been actually talking about it for a while because we talked for a long time about how well movies hold up, different things hold up,
and how some of them really don't,
and how some don't. Yeah, but
there was one that it was a big question because it definitely pushed some boundaries and had some risque stuff.
Yeah, and we're wondering how well Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery holds up, and we posited on that for a couple months because. It hadn't been on any of the streaming services as far as we knew.
It was even getting hard to find it on pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. At least in an HD format.
Yeah, I couldn't find it on even Amazon or iTunes rental stuff.
Yeah, the DVD was hard to find.
Yeah. Maybe if I hit Half Price Books might have had it.
Yeah, maybe. But we went and saw. So it hit Netflix.
Yeah. In full HD.
In full HD. Yeah, that part doesn't go so well.
I mean, and it ruins it makes Dr. Evil's bad makeup very obviously bad.
Yeah, his nose is still okay. The scar, though, is it kind of changes from scene a little on some scenes. It's I noticed it's a little bit longer.
But somehow for that movie, that isn't necessarily like a negative factor.
No, it
If it was more intentionally done.
If it was intentionally done, if it were like Richard Lewis's mole in Robin Hood Men in Tights, where
a mole?
Yeah, I have a mole where it keeps moving around his face.
Yeah,
that's fun. That's a gag.
Yep.
But the scar just kind of was a little bit inconsistent,
Even
and
if
sometimes
it noticeably changed lengths.
Yeah, and sometimes it very clearly was just paper towel, the watered up paper towel with the like spirit gum and makeup on top of it. Yeah. And that's, I mean, obviously what it looked like, kind of thing.
That's not a movie killer.
No. Or was it liquid latex? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Of. Liquid latex and paper towel. But it's not a movie killer.
No,
The movie holds up about 90%.
Yeah. There's one scene that really...
Yeah, they're less than a scene, more of a character.
Yeah.
In the movie, and he comes back in the second one too. Will Ferrell's Mustafa,
playing a brown Turkish,
brown dude, basically Will Ferrell in brownface.
Yeah,
is it's
honestly questionable for the time period when you really think about it. Even
yeah, it was.
But
just
we kind of overlooked it.
Yeah, late '90s people weren't concerned with it
as much. Yeah,
no. I mean, some of the jokes fall flat now.
Yeah,
because they're just not funny anymore. But
I mean, some of the jokes kids aren't going to get, like the Macarena.
The Macarena joke, kids aren't going to get. Like in the late '90s, that was a very
because it was just outdated not to be a dad joke.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it worked that way. And for people who knew the '90s and know the guy who Scott Evil was, his character is really fucking funny.
Yeah,
Seth Green's character. Because I know and kind of at one point aspired to be a guy like Scott Evil was when I was growing up.
See, I knew and aspired more to be Dr. Evil.
Yeah. But no, like it's very clear they do a decent job of making it funny without making it weird. That Austin is a fish out of water, kind of thing.
And I mean, looking back at the '60s scenes and the cuts, like having watched a lot more '60s. Like a lot more Bond, but also a lot more just 60s movies
and stuff.
Spy movies.
Yeah.
It makes the characters very much, they were aware of those movies and had seen them. And
yeah, they were very aware.
They knew what their style.
They were aware of the old spy movies.
Yeah.
Well, there's some lines that are just straight lifted from Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's at least a couple.
Yeah, there's more than
one. There's
I
expect them to die instead of I expect you to die.
Yeah.
And there is the... in Japan, men come first.
Yeah,
which is pulled from You Only Live Twice, and that's one of the rougher Bond movies. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like that might be rougher than some of the stuff set in Jamaica.
Yeah, it's probably it is a tough one. The things that do hold up in it, that do hold up really well, are actually Austin being pretty forward thinking in "You're drunk, I'm not going to sleep with you."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's in the, especially for the late '90s, is kind of a big thing. We noticed one gay joke, and it's not homophobic.
Well, let's tell you one in the credits too.
But I'm not counting.
Yeah, because it's him having to shove the camera assistant off of a guy.
Yeah. And it's
a guy, like one of the guards. Austin does his strip scene to destroy the
fembots. Yeah,
and one of the guards like lingers and has to be pulled away as he stares at Austin.
Yeah, and it could have been done with a woman too. Yeah. And it's not. It's a good joke.
It is,
and it's not. Unfortunately, in the '90s, the joke would have been, "Ha, that guy's gay." But
now it's
no one can resist Austin Powers.
Yeah.
If you made that movie now, like with modern updates and the way, like, first of all, it would be rated R if you made it now.
Yeah.
Just because the way humor has evolved in movies. But I do feel like if you did that movie now, it would be Austin Powers would be an openly bisexual character.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he would be.
I mean, I could also see you have the storyline of Austin Powers coming to terms with the fact he can be open about that.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But he was from the 60s when part of the 60s hippie movement is that it didn't really matter.
Not really, but at
Yeah.
the same time, you didn't really necessarily declare yourself as bisexual.
That's true. It's just free love.
The only other kind of gay joke they have is him going through history and like, Liberace. Liberace's
She's
gay?
gay? I never saw that coming.
Women loved it.
Yeah, women loved him.
And the woman's just sitting there staring at him.
And
like,
and that's not even a gay joke. That's not a gay joke. That's a wow, you are fucking unaware.
yeah. But also, like, there were a lot of people surprised when Liberace came out.
I know. I don't understand
And
why.
like in hindsight, you can't look at like, really?
It's like people were surprised when Rob Halford came out too, and you're like, do you mean the guy dressed as a leather daddy?
Yeah.
Come on. But I guess hindsight's 2020
Yep.
kind of thing. But some of the jokes another couple of the jokes that hold up really well. The opening scene when he punches the server in the face is like, that's a man, and it very clearly switches from a beautiful woman in the dress to a bulky hairy dude, with a tattoo on his
And a 5
arm
o'clock
and a
shadow.
5 o'clock shadow.
Which also comes from an awareness of the 60s movies, though, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they would just do that and hope, and people would be like, oh, I didn't even notice.
I feel like, and Austin just randomly having these random things that appear in nowhere. The appropriate thing is very Bond at the same time.
Yeah. He just has the cigarettes.
Like Bond always got to watch with some weird feature.
Yeah.
That somehow like
Helped.
Q was, a precognitive.
Yeah.
bastard.
Precog. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was going to need.
I think he'd even know the cars. Well, he'd also know the cars ain't going to come back really. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the later movies, he's just said, just try and bring it back this time. Like,
there's one where it's, no, I said bring the car back without it. What was it? I wanted it back not in pieces, not a piece.
yeah. But they.
I wanted it back in one piece, not a
piece.
piece.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because he handed him the steering wheel.
Yeah. There's another joke. That joke's really good. The Fembots jokes are fucking hilarious.
See,
still.
one of the disappointing things with the radar, like the entire timing with not showing nudity.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes with, random items getting passed around.
Yes. Yeah. Some well done framing of when they're on, what is it, when Vanessa's on the phone with her mom.
And then also the
And
honeymoon
then
at the end.
the honeymoon at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just there's lots of silly jokes in it,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. Like,
Mike Myers, both his characters have a lot of just timing jokes too, and
yeah.
like fumbling and
Yeah, the joke of them all doing the evil laugh, and then it actually shows the evil laugh petering out as opposed to cutting away when everyone else would cut away, is the perfect level of taking the scene, just letting the scene run its course a little bit too long, and that's a good example of it using it well to make it funny.
the UN, like the UN Secret Council, all having
Yeah, that one's bordering. That's bordering.
It kind of works because they push it far enough with every single country's got this weird stereotype one. Like
Yeah, like you see the U.S. and it's like a cowboy, and yeah,
Canada has a Mountie.
yeah. Japan has a sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. What's interesting is like we noticed like they managed to cast people of like the right color and race for like even like they even found a woman who was Italian to play a lot of vagina.
Yeah.
And the guys who were from the UN from Middle Eastern countries were Middle Eastern. Like they did a pretty good job with that.
And then Will Ferrell.
And then there's Will Ferrell as fucking Mustafa. And
I still like, if you want to keep Will Ferrell, literally move him a country north.
yeah, like if you and I understand just putting him in there. And our one of our friends made a good point yesterday when we were talking about it, which is Will Ferrell is either 5 minutes or an hour and a half. You can't have him play like a supporting character.
Will Ferrell's like getting drunk. You can either do just one drink, or you just need to dedicate the day to it. Okay, Will Ferrell's like a drink at lunch.
There you go.
You can either just do 5 minutes of it, a little quick drink, or you're gonna just dedicate the day to it.
It's one beer or 20.
You can't just have a little bit and go out the rest of your day.
No. But if they would have made Will Ferrell fucking Ukrainian,
Yeah,
or I guess they already had German because they had Frau.
but even make up
But
like the nuclear weapon came from
it was a Soviet nuclear weapon.
but it was a made up country as Stan.
Yeah,
If you had done something similar to that with
Will Ferrell.
yeah,
Just had him be former USSR.
yeah,
Like honestly, that's all you need.
former KGB.
Former KGB. Like have him be a white character,
Yeah,
and that's fine. You can still, the thing is you can still do all of the same jokes. It doesn't change the jokes.
no,
And then instead he's wearing a fez and has bad brown pancake makeup on.
yeah,
And that's where it's like, okay, this is a little racist.
and it really is the makeup that kind of like. Somehow I feel even the fez wouldn't be quite as offensive if they skip the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely. There are plenty of countries with white people who wear a fez.
Yeah, there's plenty of white people who wear a fez.
Yeah. We know a few.
There's a booth at Comic-Con every year.
There's a booth at Comic-Con
that I've been tempted.
Yeah, Fezarama. Great
Yeah.
company.
They
Owner's a
are.
real great dude.
They make really cool fez. Really quality ones, too.
Yeah. Yes, Matt, like the doctor.
Yes, there's a white guy wearing a fez.
Yeah.
Fezes are cool.
Fezes are cool. But the fact that the fact that it's just in the brown makeup really, like, both of us, we watched it, we made the decision to watch it together.
Yeah.
So because we could have just watched it independently,
But I think
together was better. That when we got to that scene and we saw him in the makeup, both of us just did the
oh boy.
And that was really the only moment that I felt myself do that.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the jokes you will not get if you if you weren't part of the time.
I mean, that's any movie though.
Yeah.
Like I can go back to 50s comedies and 60s comedies, and there are jokes that you don't get today because
there's a weird thing that's happened in comedy though, where jokes are very hyper specific to that time and place.
yeah.
And that does kill their ability to live on.
Well,
I think Austin Powers is very much one of those things. However, it does very much establish that this takes place in 1997.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of movies from the 60s and 70s where there are jokes you don't get if you don't know references to that time period.
Yeah.
And
the
Shakespeare's that way too.
The joke that I didn't get as a kid that I got now was when they go to the blackjack table.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, I didn't get the blackjack joke when I was younger because I didn't know how to play blackjack.
That he stands on a 5.
That he stands on 5. I too like to live dangerously.
The second worst possible hand.
Yeah, the worst hand being like a 2.
Pair of 2s.
Yeah.
Because an ace can go 11, so all of a sudden you're higher up still.
Yeah. But I've gotten double aces before and been at a 13 and just been like, fuck.
12.
Oh yeah, 12. That's what it is.
But you can split those.
Yeah, you can split it.
Yeah.
Even still, it's just like, God damn it.
Double aces I'd always split.
Yeah, I probably should. But
Oh yeah, you should.
yeah, if you can afford it with your bet, because if you split it, you have to bet again.
Yeah.
But anyway,
As long as you're betting less than half your money or less, split.
Yeah. But the joke when my name is Richie Cunningham and this is my wife Oprah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. So I got Oprah. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oprah when I was younger. I didn't know who Richie Cunningham was.
Yeah.
When I was younger. And I do now from Happy Days.
But both those, neither of those people were around in the 60s either, though.
No.
Happy Days is actually in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And set in the 50s. But yeah, I didn't get that at all. And I do now. And I really appreciate it. There's a lot of jokes that really hold up. Does the movie overall hold up and say, is this a good movie by today's standards where we have modern comedy that actually has evolved and changed and done better?
It's not the worst movie to come out this week.
I'd say if you were to release that exact same movie today and it's set in 1997.
And we're ignoring some of the jokes that are going to be timed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that it would probably be okay.
I don't think it'd be a flop.
I don't think it would flop, but I don't think it would be terrible. I don't think it would be as big as I don't think it would be a cultural phenomenon like it was back in the 90s.
But at the same time, that concept of movie would still do fine today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You could drop Austin Powers 50 years later and have him emerge from a tube today.
If they remade it today, it would be. If they remade it today, it should be No One Lives Forever. That's a good one. That's good, Matt. It's Matt. That's a good one. That's really good.
That is Austin Powers.
No One Lives Forever. And I unfortunately, it's not a character that.
Or do you go really bad internet jokes and go, "No one lives 5 ever"?
No.
That does actually ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too far. Joke too far. But
is the joke too far? The remake of A Bridge too far? The comedy remake of it?
it's your version of it. Yeah. But unfortunately, like I don't think we would get something like that today.
Yeah.
Comedy's changed.
No.
And a lot of this, that kind of movie evolved into things kind of like what Will Ferrell's been making.
I almost feel like that type of movie coming nowadays would also go like it'd be a Netflix original or something.
Yeah. But I think that evolved into this type of movies that Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly have been making, like Step Brothers and unfortunately Watson and Holmes.
I mean, that's the thing. It was a cultural phenomenon,
and
I think it did shift comedy a bit.
It did. It shifted the way comedy was viewed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's when you start getting, again, when something becomes really big, you start getting something like copy the formula, and then by the time you get to the end of it,
I mean, Austin Powers even the later movies have jokes about the fact that you're just reusing the same jokes.
Yeah, I mean, the third Austin Powers movie is bad.
Yeah,
it is. It's just bad.
So we're not going to do the two.
No, I might watch The Spy Who Shagged Me because I did really like that a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. I'm worried that I'm curious if that one's going to hold up as well. I have a feeling
that's a good question. That one's more of a direct spoof of Moonraker, if I remember.
Yeah.
Whereas, I guess The Spy Who Shagged, like, and the it's supposed to be a take on The Spy Who Loved Me is
the title is
the title.
But the movie itself also pulls from, I mean, the Avengers.
Yeah.
The 90s. Or the 60s.
60s and 90s.
And, there's a 90s movie.
With Uma Thurman.
Yeah, the 60s series. It pulls from...
Not Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
The Avengers. Totally different thing.
It pulls from, a lot of the 60s trip movies. It pulls from, obviously, Bond and multiple Bond movies.
Yeah.
With just the overall story. Because there are multiple Bond movies where Bond must defeat the evil villain to save the world from nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Yep. That's...
I do remember a joke from the second one that I didn't get when I was younger that's really funny now.
Yeah.
That the moon base was created by Dr. Alan Parsons, and so they are going to call it the Alan Parsons Project. Which I didn't get when I was younger, and I do now, and I think it's really funny.
I remember I got the joke about, we're going to put a laser on the moon and call it a Death Star.
Yeah. I did get that one when I was younger. Yeah. But no, overall, Austin Powers
surprisingly holds up.
Not the greatest movie by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But enjoyable to watch.
If you enjoyed it before, you'll probably enjoy it again.
Yeah. That's a fair thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't feel nostalgia vision watching it.
Which is surprising for that movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, just the overall concept lends itself to so much risk.
Yeah.
To go from the 60s and the 90s and compare it with today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Mike Myers has kind of a knack for those movies doing that. Wayne's World still is really good. It has a couple questionable jokes, but it's still really good.
This one, I mean, Austin Powers has a couple.
Yeah.
Mainly one. But
one of our same friend last night we were talking with about Will Ferrell said, pointed out, So I Married an Axe Murderer still holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
It still does.
I mean, that's the thing is, part of what makes comedy good is...
And then he went and made stuff like The Love Guru.
Yeah. Comedy can hold up pretty well over time, partially because I think there's something about not requiring special effects helps also.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's a lot of really old... I'm blanking on his name, but like Young Frankenstein.
Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
A whole lot of that holds up.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Even Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, some of it doesn't.
It's got some jokes that... Like, it obviously has jokes in Blazing Saddles that were there because they're aware they are inappropriate.
Yes.
There's some that are inappropriate now that you could have got away with at that point.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's one joke in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure
Yeah.
that doesn't hold up. It's the one part of the movie really that doesn't hold up, which is when they discovered that they're both still alive after what they thought the other one was stabbed. And they hug and then they go back and go fag at each other. Like that's the one joke that doesn't hold up. And it's actually the joke that it's a joke that gets cut from the TV version. Doesn't affect it.
Doesn't affect it and might improve it.
Yep. That said, we're at the end of our time for this week.
Are we?
Yep. We're over an hour now. Just a quick thing. I'm being serious right now, Boyd.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how serious this was.
Yeah, no, this is serious.
Okay.
Next week, I'm not sure if we'll have a new episode next week, due to some family things. So we'll keep people up to date. But yeah, I have some family stuff that I have to take care of.
I feel even if we have an episode, probably won't have a Twitch. Version of it.
Yeah. It'll depend on it'll depend on how things end up.
Yeah.
We might have a new episode. We might not. We'll see how things play out.
Well, no, the week brings when the week brings it.
Yeah. But aside from that, yeah, if you want to share, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Sure.
Twitch.tv/clinically inane, clinicallyinane.us, or on whatever podcatcher it is that you use. This episode will be out as the regular podcast on Sunday at noon Pacific time. And
so subscribe and
share. I think that pretty much covers everything.
Okay.
Real quick, Matt said something. Rewatch Life of Brian recently still holds up. Might even be more relevant today. I actually agree.
Interesting.
Yeah, I actually agree. I watched it a couple years ago. But
Monty Python's another that holds up pretty well.
Flying Circus is about 1 in 5.
That's fair. Flying Circus was okay. I can see that. You know, it's another 70s series that does hold up really well. Actually, The Muppets.
Yeah, actually, Muppets holds up pretty well. But yeah, that's it for this week.
Is it?
Yep.
Goodbye, kids.
Bye, kids.